Hello everyone, and welcome to another video from Tribute Today. In this tribute, we'll look at American celebrities and other influential people from around the world who have passed away recently. We share their stories, celebrate their achievements, and remember the legacies they leave behind. If you appreciate keeping these memories alive, please give this video a like. Your support truly helps us honor their stories. Thank you for being with us. Let's begin.
Daddy Lumba, 1964 to 2025. Highlife legend and Ghanaian cultural icon, passes away at 61. Daddy Lumba, Ghana's beloved highlife pioneer and musical icon, passed away in 2025 at the age of 61. With a career spanning more than 4 decades, his influence on West African music is immeasurable, and his passing marks the end of a golden chapter in Ghanaian entertainment. Born Charles Kwadwo Fosu on September 29, 1964. In Nsuta Amangawes, in the Ashanti region, Daddy Lumba's love for music blossomed. At an early age, he began performing in church choirs and school bands before forming the Lumba Brothers in the late 1980s. His 1989 debut album, Yuyu, aka Akwantu Omu, was an instant hit, launching a solo career that would eventually see over 30 albums and countless chart-topping songs. Lumba's music was more than catchy. Melodies, it was deeply emotional, blending love, social commentary, and spirituality with highlife, Afrobeat, and contemporary influences. Known for his smooth voice, poetic lyrics, and stylish charisma, he became a household name, not just in Ghana, but across the African diaspora. Songs like Abin Woha, Teresa, Sika Asim, and Playboy became cultural anthems, playing at weddings, parties, and in the hearts of millions. He was a master of reinvention, constantly adapting his sound while staying true to his roots. His ability to blend traditional highlife rhythms with modern production made him a trailblazer, influencing generations of Ghanaian and African musicians. Despite his fame, Daddy Lumba remained a deeply spiritual and private individual. Over the years, he battled several health challenges but never lost his passion for music. He continued to perform, released new music, and inspire even into his 60s. His stage presence was unmatched, flamboyant, yet humble, theatrical, yet grounded. Fans adored him, not just for his music, but for his unwavering commitment to the Ghanaian identity. In many ways, he gave voice to the country's soul. The news of his death has triggered an outpouring of grief across Ghana and beyond. Presidents, fellow musicians, and everyday fans have paid tribute to a man who gave them a soundtrack to their lives. As Ghana prepares to honor one of its greatest sons, the legacy of Daddy Lumba lives on. His music, message, and magic will continue to echo through speakers and stages for years to come. Ziad Rahbani, Lebanese musical and theatrical icon, passes away at 69. Ziad Rahbani, the brilliant Lebanese composer, playwright, and satirist, who gave voice to a generation through his music and theater, has passed away in 2025 at the age of 69. Revered across the Arab world for his fearless political commentary, unmatched artistry, and lifelong dedication to culture. His death marks the loss of one of the region's most influential creative minds. Born on January 1, 1956, into a legendary artistic family, his mother, the world-renowned singer and his father, the celebrated composer Asi Rahbani, was destined for a life of expression. But even in the shadow of such great names, he carved out a voice that was uniquely his own, bold, critical, and unflinchingly honest. Ziad first entered the public eye at just 17, composing for his mother after his father fell ill. His early work was mature beyond his years, laced with sharp wit and complex political themes that resonated with everyday people. By the late 1970s and into the Lebanese Civil War years, his plays such as Sari, Benisbe Labat, Shu, and film Amariki Tal redefined Arab theater, fusing jazz, classical Arabic music, funk, and pop with biting social commentary. Rahbani became a rare voice of resistance and realism in a world increasingly shaped by propaganda and fear. He dared to criticize corruption, sectarianism, and the hypocrisy of political elites, softened with humor so disarming It made his messages impossible to ignore. Despite, or perhaps because of, his controversial views, Ziad became a cultural symbol. His music spoke directly to the frustrations and hopes of the Arab middle class, the displaced, the dreamers, and the disillusioned. Songs like Ana Much Kafer, Habitak, Tansit, El Nom, and Agniat El Nil became part of the Arab cultural DNA, blending melancholia with sharp intellect and layered instrumentation. Ziad was known for his reclusive nature, an unpredictable public persona. He rarely gave interviews, preferring his work to speak for itself. And it did, eloquently, loudly, and with impact that transcended borders. He was not only an artist, but a historian of emotions and contradictions. In modern Arab society, over the years, younger generations rediscovered Rahbani's work through digital platforms and remastered recordings. Even those born long after his plays first premiered found relevance in his themes of political fatigue, class struggle, and human absurdity. His words and melodies continued to reflect the soul of a region searching for identity and justice. News of Ziad Rahbani's passing has reverberated from Beirut to Cairo, Damascus to Tunis. Artists, intellectuals, and fans alike mourned the loss of a voice that once spoke so clearly in a world of noise and chaos. As Lebanon and the Arab world bid farewell to one of their most complex cultural figures, they also celebrate the man who held up a mirror to society, unfiltered and unforgettable. Ziad Rahbani is gone, but his voice, music, and message will echo for generations. Tom Lehrer, master of musical satire and brilliant wit, dies at 97. Tom Lehrer, the Harvard-trained mathematician turned musical satirist, whose razor-sharp wit skewered politics, culture, and human absurdity, has passed away in 2025 at the age of 97. With a piano, a dry smile, and unmatched lyrical genius, Lehrer changed the landscape of musical comedy, influencing generations of satirists and entertainers. Born on April 9, 1928, in New York City, Thomas Andrew Lehrer showed brilliance early in life. He began playing piano at age 7 and was studying mathematics at Harvard by the time he was just 15. But while academia gave him structure, it was humor and music that gave him purpose. By the early 1950s, Lehrer had self-released songs by Tom Lehrer, a collection of satirical tunes poking fun at the hypocrisies of American life. With songs like Be Prepared and The Old Dope Peddler, Lehrer quickly gained a cult following, despite being far outside the mainstream entertainment system. At a time when popular music steered clear of politics and controversy, plunged headfirst into both. His songs gleefully mocked nuclear arms races, We Will All Go Together When We Go, educational bureaucracy, New Math, religious hypocrisy, The Vatican Rag, and more. He had a unique ability to turn complicated political topics into catchy, unforgettable tunes, each one laced with irony and intelligence. Lehrer's humor was never mean-spirited, but it was always fearless. He spoke truth to power with a laugh. Throughout the 1960s, Lehrer's fame expanded beyond college campuses and counterculture circles. He appeared on television, wrote music for That Was the Week That Was, and became a key voice during a volatile era in American history. Yet, despite his success, he never sought celebrity. Disenchanted with the music industry and the direction of modern politics, Lehrer famously stepped back from public performance in the 1970s and returned to teaching mathematics at the University of California, Santa Cruz. For decades, Lehrer remained largely out of the spotlight, occasionally resurfacing with a reissue or rare interview. But his music endured. Artists like Weird Al Yankovic, Randy Newman, Tim Minchin, and Stephen Colbert cited Lehrer as a major influence. His songs were rediscovered by younger audiences through YouTube and classroom curriculums, where his wit still sparkled decades later. In a surprise move in 2020, Lehrer released all of his music and lyrics into the public domain, stating simply that he no longer cared about royalties and wanted people to enjoy, share, and adapt his work freely. It was a final gift from a man who had always prized ideas and laughter above profit. Tom Lehrer's legacy is that of a cultural outlier who used humor as both sword and shield. He made people laugh, but he also made them think, question, and challenge the status quo. His melodies were catchy, but his lyrics were surgical. As the world says goodbye to this reluctant legend, one thing is certain: satire will never be the same without him, and the world will always need his kind of brilliant, uncomfortable truth set to a jaunty piano tune. Marlene Warfield. Fierce voice of stage and screen, dies at 80. Marlene Warfield, the acclaimed actress known for her powerhouse performances in both political theater and iconic film, passed away in 2025 at the age of 80. A commanding presence on stage and screen, Warfield brought intensity, intelligence, and unflinching honesty to every role she embodied. Born on June 19, 1945, in Queens, New York, Warfield emerged during a turbulent time in American history. The daughter of working-class parents, she grew up with a passion for language, drama, and activism. Her early experiences as a black woman in America would go on to shape not only the roles she chose, but the defiant energy she poured into them. Warfield first rose to prominence in the late 1960s with her breakout role as Sissy in the politically charged off-Broadway play, The Great White Hope. Her performance was raw, emotional, and unforgettable, so much so that when the play transitioned to Broadway and then to film in 1970, Warfield was one of the few cast members to reprise her role. For her portrayal, she won critical acclaim and an NAACP Image Award, with many praising her for bringing authenticity and complexity to a character trapped in a racially divided world. But Warfield was not interested in fame for fame's sake. She chose her roles carefully, often gravitating toward stories that highlighted social injustice, racial tension, and human dignity. In 1976, she delivered what would become one of her most memorable screen performances as Laureen Hobbs in Network, Sidney Lumet's satirical drama that skewered television news and corporate greed. As the militant black activist negotiating with media executives, Warfield stole every scene with her fiery presence and unwavering commitment to character. Even in a film filled with legends, she stood tall, a symbol of righteous rage in an increasingly commercial world. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, Warfield remained active in both film and television, appearing in projects that aligned with her values and showcased her range. She also returned to theater repeatedly, often performing in experimental works that centered on black identity and resistance. Despite her talent, she never became a household name, a fact many critics lamented as a reflection of Hollywood's marginalization of black actresses who refused to conform. Warfield eventually stepped away from the public eye, dedicating her later years to mentoring young actors and promoting arts education in underserved communities. She remained vocal about the lack of representation in the industry. Even as change began to stir, Marlene Warfield's legacy is not one measured in box office numbers or tabloid coverage. It is measured in truth. She was a voice for the voiceless, a woman who used her talent not just to entertain, but to confront and challenge. She showed what it meant to act with purpose, to be fearless in art and life. In an era hungry for authenticity, Warfield delivered it with force, and while she may be gone, her work and spirit remain bold, brilliant, and unyielding. Maria Teresa Campos, trailblazing Spanish TV icon, dies at 82. Maria Teresa Campos, the pioneering Spanish journalist and television presenter who transformed the landscape of daytime talk shows in Spain, passed away in 2023 at the age of 82. Known as the Queen of Mornings, Campos built a career that spanned over 5 decades, redefining the role of women in media and leaving an indelible mark on Spanish television. Born on June 18, 1941, in Tetuan, then part of the Spanish Protectorate in Morocco, Campos grew up in Malaga, Spain, where she began her broadcasting career in radio at a young age. Her voice, warm and assured, quickly drew attention. At a time when few women were trusted with prominent on-air roles, Campos became a groundbreaking figure in Spanish media, proving that female journalists could lead, and lead with intelligence, depth, and charisma. Her breakthrough came in the 1980s, when she transitioned from radio to television. In the following decades, Campos would become a fixture in millions of Spanish homes, hosting programs such as DAA, and Kadadav, she captivated audiences with her mix of hard-hitting interviews, lifestyle segments, and deeply personal storytelling. She had the rare ability to move seamlessly from politics to pop culture, always maintaining a tone that was both empathetic and incisive. Campos was not afraid to challenge authority. She tackled taboo subjects, asked uncomfortable questions, and brought women's issues to the forefront of national conversation. Her programs addressed domestic violence, inequality, and societal norms long before they were commonly discussed. On mainstream television, through it all, her natural warmth and emotional intelligence allowed guests and viewers to feel seen, heard, and understood. While her professional accomplishments were substantial, Campos also opened her life to the public in a way that endeared her even more to fans. She was candid about her personal struggles, including heartbreak, illness, and aging in the spotlight, which only reinforced her authenticity. Her close relationship with her daughters, both of whom followed her into the media world, was also a recurring theme in her narrative. Creating a multi-generational legacy within Spanish entertainment, Campos earned numerous awards during her career, including the Gold Medal for Merit in Work from the Spanish government, in recognition of her extraordinary contributions to communication and journalism. But for many, her greatest achievement was how she changed the fabric of television itself, especially for women. Her later years saw fewer appearances, but even in retirement, Maria Teresa remained a revered figure. Her influence could be seen in the format and style of modern Spanish talk shows, many of which bear the imprint of the path she forged. Maria Teresa Campos wasn't just a presenter. She was a cultural institution, a woman who broke barriers, who spoke truth with heart, and who proved that journalism could be both serious and soulful. Her voice may be silent now, but her impact will continue to echo through Spanish media for generations to come. Michael Lerner, acclaimed character actor of stage and screen, dies at 81. Michael Lerner, the seasoned American actor, best known for his commanding screen presence and Oscar-nominated role in Barton Fink, passed away in April 2023 at the age of 81. With a career spanning over 5 decades, Lerner carved out a distinguished path in Hollywood, excelling as a character actor whose performances were as memorable as they were versatile. Born on June 22, 1941, in Brooklyn, New York, Lerner was drawn to acting at a young age. After studying at Brooklyn College, he earned a Fulbright scholarship to study theater at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. He later completed a master's degree in English drama at the University of California, Berkeley. This academic foundation gave Lerner an intellectual depth that he would bring to every role, big or small. He began his acting journey on stage, appearing in regional and off-Broadway productions. But it was in film and television where Lerner found his true rhythm. His expressive face, booming voice, and ability to inhabit complex, often morally ambiguous characters made him a go-to performer for a wide range of roles. He appeared in dozens of films, from dramas to comedies, always elevating the material with his distinctive style. Lerner's most celebrated performance came in 1991, when he portrayed the bombastic film studio head, Jack Lipnick, in The Coen Brothers' Barton Fink. His portrayal earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and the role remains one of the most iconic Hollywood caricatures ever captured on screen. He delivered Lipnick with such gusto, both terrifying and hilarious, that he instantly became a fan favorite and a respected peer among fellow actors. He continued working steadily through the 90s and 2000s, appearing in notable films such as Godzilla, 1998, Elf 2003, and X-Men, Days of Future Past, 2014. Often cast as gruff executives, politicians, or authority figures, his talent for playing these powerful, often blustering characters gave even genre films a sense of gravity and authenticity. Outside of film, Lerner also made memorable appearances on television, including recurring roles on Law & Order, SV, The West Wing, and Glee. Despite his fame, he kept a low personal profile, choosing to let his work speak for itself. He was deeply respected in acting circles for his professionalism, humility, and dedication to the craft. Lerner's commitment to character work served as a reminder that great acting doesn't always need the spotlight. Sometimes it thrives just outside of it. He wasn't a household name in the traditional sense, but among directors, critics, and cinephiles, he was a cherished presence who brought weight and nuance to every production he joined. In an era of fast fame, Michael Lerner stood as a testament to lasting talent, substance, and craft. He leaves behind a legacy of rich performances and a masterclass in what it means to be a true character actor. Adama Nayane, French actor known for Lupin and gripping villain roles, dies at 56. Adama Nayane, the acclaimed French actor best known for his haunting performance in Netflix's global hit Lupin, passed away in January 2023 at the age of 56. With a career that spanned theater, film, and television, Nayane stood out as one of France's most compelling and intense actors, particularly in his portrayals of dark, complex characters. Born on August 23, 1966, in Paris, Adama Nayane was drawn to storytelling early in life. He studied theater at Sorbonne Nouvelle University and began his professional journey on the stage. He honed his craft with a deep respect for literature and performance, appearing in productions of works by authors such as Aimé Césaire and Jean Genet. His dedication to the theatrical tradition laid the foundation for a remarkable screen career defined by gravitas and raw emotional power. Nayane made a name for himself through television dramas in France during the late 1990s and early 2000s, but it was his chilling portrayal of serial killer Guy Georges in the 2016 true crime series SK1, Lehrer SK1, that brought him widespread recognition in French cinema. His performance was praised for its terrifying realism and emotional complexity, firmly establishing him as an actor unafraid of exploring the darkest corners of the human psyche. His most internationally recognized role came in Lupin, where he played Leonard, a ruthless and calculating hitman whose quiet menace left a lasting impression. Despite limited screen time, Nayane's presence was so powerful that he became one of the show's most talked about characters. He brought a slow-burning intensity to the role, offering a perfect counterpoint to Omar Sy's charismatic lead. Beyond Lupin, Adama Nayane also appeared in series such as Plus Belle, La Vie, Sam, and La Monte. He showed remarkable range, transitioning from villainous roles to more grounded, emotionally resonant characters with ease. His film credits include Basemoy 2000, Gangsterdam 2017, and Alex Hugo. Whether in crime thrillers or dramas, Nayane had the uncanny ability to bring complexity and humanity to every role. Nayane was also a writer and deeply committed artist, who often used his voice to highlight the experience of black actors in France. Quiet in his personal life, he preferred to let his work speak for him. To those who knew him, he was described as humble, thoughtful, and fiercely devoted to his craft. His sudden death was met with shock across the French entertainment industry, with co-stars, directors, and fans mourning the loss of an artist in his prime. Omar Sy paid tribute to Nayane, calling him a man of rare kindness, a great actor, and a dear friend. Adama Nayane's legacy is one of intensity, depth, and authenticity. He leaves behind a body of work that challenged viewers and elevated every project he touched. In every frame, he proved that the best performances don't need spectacle, just truth, courage, and talent.